All right, I'm back at the house here. I had to charge up the camera a little bit. The battery was getting low on it. But I said I had a surprise for you. Some of you it may be a surprise, other ones maybe no surprise at all. Something you want, maybe something you don't want. I recently sent out an email and posted a blog about some friends of mine that had died. One friend I left out. If any of you had read my book, the Inspired Manifestation book, I talk a lot about Catherine. Catherine, 30 plus year friend. Uh, Very important to me in my life. She lived down in Pismo Beach, California. She passed away right before Christmas time. And then found out about a week ago, my buddy Walter died. My buddy Walter was a good friend of mine. He was a mentor of mine, and he was just an amazing man, a fisherman, a hunter. He was a great liberal. I mean, he was an environmentalist, friends with the Kennedys, but also had both sides to the equation. And tried to get down there to Bahamas to see him. Actually went with Igor Lidahowski one time. We never got a chance to connect up, but he passed in a car accident last week, and a long-term friend. That one really got me. Catherine was older, so I kind of expected, she was going to pass, and it prepared myself for that. And then I was talking to a client last week and found out that she was in a really bad place, considering leaving this reality. And then when I got off the Skype with her, I'd had a message on there that I hadn't checked. I get on Skype rarely, and it was from somebody that was related to one of my clients, Harvard doctor, living over in, I'm not sure if it was Cambridge or not, but a prestigious university in the UK. And she had passed. So a lot of passing all at one time. But one of the things she had asked from me was to do more coaching with her, help her get her book out before she passed. She knew she had about a year to live, but within a few weeks she was gone. So that really got me thinking, and I wrote about that, and I got a tremendous response. A lot, and thank you so much for the responses that I did get. I also got a lot of responses for coaching out of it. But the biggest amount of responses was, I want to do coaching. I want to understand this more. Why do I need coaching? What is it? And I can't afford it. I can't afford it. The economy's hitting me tough, and I need coaching. So it's kind of a paradox that they're in, that they need the coaching, but really can't afford the coaching. So I passed it back and forth with Kathy a little bit and talked to her and said, what can we do? How can I make this happen? I said, well, recently, from December onwards, and this is just yesterday and the day before with John Overdur, some of the classes, we had some tremendous breakthroughs on coaching. Neuroscience is jumping leaps and bounds with understanding of what makes this coaching work, what makes therapy work. And it's starting to really narrow it down, funnel it to what is working, where it's not guesswork. We know people say, wow, that worked. But what I like to study is to say, what is it that makes it work? And get real specific about it. So recently I've been studying the nervous system, what they're discovering the nervous system, the polyvagal theory with Stephen Porges, Dr. Stephen Porges. And again, yesterday, the day before, had this incredible download of understanding and connecting with it. And one of the things that they're saying now is that with these models, the models that they're making, actually explaining the model to people gives them relief. Starts the coaching process, starts the therapeutic process where they kind of get step away, dissociation a little bit, and I'm not talking about the medical type in the DSM. I'm talking about dissociation where it's kind of like you imagine seeing a picture of yourself and how you dissociate. There's many different ways to dissociate from that, and getting where you go, oh, I realize what happened. And some of the books that I've been reading lately, and when I'm on my trips, I listen to audio books, and I've been going through that process where I think I know a lot, and I've been doing this for 25 something years, and to learn this, I'm doing this with other people. We practice at the seminars back and forth, and I've been getting more of the understanding and the dissociation. As I start to teach this with people and go through it, they're like, oh, that makes sense, and they stop attaching to their behavior or their thoughts and realize that it's something in the brain that's working. And when you can realize that this is something in the brain that's working and not you, it's tremendous relief in that. Because you realize it's something in you as a mammal. It's something that has a reptilian brain, a squirrel brain, and a mammalian brain, and a higher cortex, what those parts do. And if you get an understanding, and a lot of it's in really highly technical language, so the doctors and the therapists are getting it, but that doesn't leave much room for the average person who doesn't spend their day going through learning about brain science. That's what I do. And what people have told me I'm really good at and what I like to do is to translate that, how to make sense of that with metaphors and stories and ideas to get it so you can understand at a level. So what I decided to do, I said, look, a lot of this, just if you get the shift and the change and seeing the understanding of it, it begins the change process. So I said, let me start a self-coaching program where people can learn to self-coach and self-regulate what you do and how you do it. But first, if you understand the system that you have in your body and who you are, you can begin to self-regulate. So next week, I'm going to do a self-coaching, self-regulation, and explain the model. And you watch when you get to listen to this, because I'm going to do a combination of audio and visual where I'm going to draw and put some diagrams and things like this. When you get it, it's a pop. And you start to go, and you see possibility for yourself instead of being stuck in your issues and your problems and your blocks. When you understand what your issues, problems, and blocks are from your nervous system, from your mind, and I'll put in easy language, it gives you a relief, a really sense of relief that then you can begin to take and do what you want to do. So I'm looking at $47, okay? People can't afford the $247 that I normally charge. I'm also going to do a 5-session coaching that will go over 4 weeks, 4 months, however long. It's 5 sessions for the price of 4. So we're going to give you 1 session free. So for like $9.97, I'm going to give you 5 sessions, and you'll save on 1 session. And we can structure it to your issue, to your schedule, and it's, again, 5 sessions for the price of 4, but you're going to get it over a period. But for the rest of you that can't afford that, $47, we're going to go 2 to 3 hours. I'm going to give you the model. I'll also give you the download of it, so you can watch it over and over again. So if you don't get it all completely, which you probably won't the first time, listening to it, watching it over and over again, you're going to get it. And then you can start catching on board of what's happening, what I'm doing, what I'm about, and why this is such an exciting time in humanity to start understanding ourselves at that level where you don't have a life that by the end of your life, you said, I wish I could have done it differently. I wish I had the tools and the skills. It's available now. This is what's happened. This is why it's really exciting. So I'd love to see you on the call next week. It's going to be next Wednesday. We're working on a time, probably 5 Pacific time to 8. And don't worry if you can't make it. The recording is going to be there for you. I'll send it to you, and I'm going to do questions and answers also. Going to take a couple people. I'm going to work with a couple people actually in the problem. I'll explain the process. And then I'm going to work with a couple people so you get an idea of how this works. We also have 3 other coaching calls that I did that I'll give you access to that you can listen to and start to get this and then begin to catch it in your own mind. Self-coaching is incredible. One of the things my friend Walter used to say is fill your days with life, not your life with days. Let's begin to fill your days with life. Find out what life is. When you remove the issues and the problems and you start to understand what your body is, what your mind is, how it works, what your nervous system, how it works together in an easy, understandable way, you'll start to fill your days with life and know what life is. Because sometimes you don't even know that you don't know. You don't know that you don't know. And a lot of times I work with people, that's what I get. I'm going like, man, they don't know yet. They don't get it yet. If I could just get them to taste that a little bit, to understand that, they're going to open up to something that they don't know. But when they know it for the first time, maybe they remember, oh, as a kid I used to feel like this. Oh, man, I thought this was possible, but I never could get there. And then they get there. And your days are filled with life instead of your life filled with days. The Smart J. Ryan. Hope to see you next week on the coaching call. If you can afford it and you want to do personal coaching, give Kathy an email. Send me an email. We'll set up a time for you and go through the process. And again, let's fill your days with life. Mark J. Ryan, thanks. Have a great day.